Hi, I'm Indigo from Daydreams and Associates, and today I'm going to do an actual reading for myself because there's something that's been on my mind. And so the first two videos that I made, I was telling you about a reading that I had done for myself. Okay, so this is for me. Okay, I have been studying nonviolent communication, which is a specific thing. It's sometimes called NVC. It was created by Marshall Rosenberg, and the teacher that I'm working with right now is at cupofempathy.com. The person's name is Marianne. I think it's Marianne Van Dyke, but I'm not totally sure how to pronounce the last name. So Marianne from Cup of Empathy, I want to give them credit for their work on nonviolent communication. The reason that this is relevant is because nonviolent communication teaches that every feeling is connected to a need, and painful feelings arise because your needs are unmet, and pleasurable feelings arise because your needs are met. And so if you're having a painful feeling, if you can uncover the need, you can try to meet the need. And so I have been feeling lately this longing that I have been thinking I really want collaboration. I want someone to collaborate with. I have been in a place in my life for years, maybe forever, where I'm trying to invent the life that I want to live, and every day I sort of feel like I have so many decisions to make about Daydreams and Associates, about the art that I'm making, about how I'm spending my time. But even if I just took Daydreams and Associates, like every day I am trying to figure out like what to do next, or if I'm doing this sort of oracle thing, or I'm doing this inner world sessions, and like I want someone to collaborate with and bounce ideas around, and I want someone who's just as invested in it as I am, and we put our heads together and we get creative, and like I want that kind of energy like every day. And so I've been saying that I have a need for collaboration because that's one of the needs that NVC has identified. If you want, you can download a list of feelings and needs that NVC has identified. The thing is, I have a lot of people collaborating with me. Just in the last week, there are 2 or 3 friends that I have asked to help me brainstorm like business stuff with. Calling them inner world sessions came out of like conversations with 2 or 3 different people about what I do. I collaborated with someone who just out of the blue wrote up a bunch of sales copy for me and sent it to me. I didn't even ask them to do it. I'm in 2 different bands, and I'm collaborating with them on like writing and making and producing music and with performing music. And it's like, every day I'm collaborating. And so it sort of feels to me, it seems to me that that can't be the need that is behind this longing. And so I thought, I'm wrong. It can't be collaboration. What is it? And so I decided to do ask the cards. And so I pulled out a deck that I haven't worked with in a long time. It's called the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Krantz. I think that's how you say the last name. And I'm going to show you how I would do this. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, the other piece about NVC is like, I have this longing for something that is pretty specific in mind, is like one person that wants to talk to me every day and is super invested in all these decisions that I get to make. And that's kind of unrealistic, and it's okay if a need is unrealistic, but there's a difference between needs and strategies. So like a need for collaboration can be met in all sorts of different ways. And so there's an element of strategy here, right? Like having the same person day after day meet the need is not really, NVC would say that's not required. So that's why I think it's a different need. I don't know if this makes any sense to you. So what I have in front of me is I have a feelings and needs document for NVC. I'm going to be referring to it, and I have my deck of tarot cards. And so because I'm trying to find, you know, a more accurate name, and it might be more than one need, but I think there is a primary need. Okay? So I'm asking the cards, and I'm going to go through the deck. I'm going to look for a card that feels like this thing that I'm longing for, this kind of collaborative relationship that I'm longing for, okay? So here's the part of the video where I'm just going to be looking at cards that you can't see, and maybe we'll speed this up, but here we go. So you can go kind of fast because you're looking for a feeling, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to like recenter on that feeling again and again as my mind wanders. And if I pause on a card, I'm like trying on the feeling and trying on the card. There's a lot of quick no's, and then there are some maybes. This one's a strong maybe. It's the first strong maybe that I've come to, so I'm going to set it aside. I'm not sure, but so I'm going to keep going. So I'm like thinking like the word collaboration over and over in my head and trying to tune into that feeling. And then also it struck me like, I don't know, when I saw this card, I thought, well, maybe I could also be open to a card that feels like the collaborator, the ideal collaborator. And then it's not this. But so I'm looking open to both of those. Here's another strong maybe. Here's another strong maybe. This is a strong maybe. No, this is a yes. So I'm going to put the maybes aside because I have a yes. But I'm going to keep going. Now it can go faster because I have a yes. So I'm not second guessing myself. I have a second yes. I had to stop because waiting for a friend to come over and pick something up. Got a message from the friend, so I had to check it. Now we're back. Okay. So, I have my 2 yeses. These are the 2. In this deck, the Wild Unknown deck, this one is the 4 of Pentacles, and this one is the 10 of Cups. But as usual, it really does not matter. It doesn't matter what those cards mean according to tarot. What matters is that they had the right feeling for me, so I want to look at them. Okay, so this feels like the kind of collaboration that I want, because it feels like there are all these moving pieces and they're moving together. Like, in my mind, this is like a machine, and like these are almost like rubber bands, or like between these different almost like cogs that are turning, and so everything is turning and moving and everything is connected, and it's all just like moving back and forth and moving back and forth and like generating movement, right? Something. Yeah, it's generating power. That feels right. That feels right. When I think about this too, because I sort of have a hunch, every time I personally, when I'm working with NVC, if I have a need that I think needs to be met by someone else, that may be the case. Not a particular person, but a person. Sometimes I check with myself, can I meet this need for myself? Like if it's compassion, or connection, like self-connection, feels really, really good to me, for example. So in this case, like if, let's say this machine was entirely inside me. Wow, so I'm imagining right now, I'm imagining this machine being inside me, and that feels incredible. And I'm actually imagining the machine, let's say part of it is inside another person, and that feels, feels a little frightening. I think I'm afraid that it will break, because it's like the distance, these like rubber bands or whatever that are circulating between the two of us, it just feels like they're fragile. Whereas when it's inside me, it just feels like, oh, it's functioning the way it should be. So that's interesting. Like, if I do imagine having that kind of thing with another person, that does sound amazing. Like, I think I would love that. I could imagine that happening for like an hour or 2 at a really fast pace. Or I could imagine a slower, like, that would feel really good. Like a slow kind of just connection. Feels like a vibration. But the key here to me is that, like, it can't be collaboration if I would just be entirely satisfied if it was happening within me. Like, I would love it to be connected to another person like this as well. But it's not collaboration, right? Okay. Now let's look at the second one and see if this adds anything. So when I look at this card, it's kind of the same thing. Like these rays are like bouncing back and forth and bouncing back and forth. So there's this like constant activity between it all. It's very, very exciting. With the light moving back and forth, I actually like it less than this. This feels more satisfying. So I'm even gonna just say this is now a no. And this is a yes. And so that machine feeling. And so now I'm gonna turn to my needs list and see what, so it's the sense of like the machine working properly and producing power. And so there's a whole set of needs under power. like inner power and empowerment, they actually don't feel right. Effectiveness, sort of. Sometimes it actually helps me to move my body when I'm doing this, and I'm not sure why. Like, I'm kind of wiggling my spine. Feels like letting go of holding as I'm looking at this. And so reading down the list, like love, compassion, care, attention, acceptance, appreciation, reassurance, affection, trust, involvement. Involvement is pinging something, but it's not involvement. Respect, care, support, nearness, intimacy, tenderness, softness, sensitivity, friendliness. To learn, growth, to contribute, to enrich life, hope, creativity. Creativity is again close. What was the other one that I said was close? Effectiveness. So effectiveness and creativity. Inspiration, no. Purpose, no. Clarity, awareness, liberation. That's interesting. I say liberation. I think my video is now all fuzzy. Don't know why. Liberation, it feels like there's a need for liberation because something is in the way of the machine working properly, and the machine is me. I was like, I have to move. This is like also part of liberation because there's a voice in me that's saying like, don't move like that in front of other people. Like, you're not supposed to. Like, you're supposed to sit still. But it's like, I need to move right now. And so liberation, transformation. Liberation actually feels closer to the truth. Again, like liberation to become... liberation from something that's constraining me, because this is natural. This should be my natural state. So liberation, okay. Transformation, to matter, participate, to be present, simplicity. Simplicity seems interesting too. Like, there's something about this is the way it's supposed to be. Honesty, integrity, transparency, openness, self-expression, to discover, adventure, passion, spontaneity, play, all the stuff under connection. No. I'm looking at the stuff under pleasure. Like, vitality is often an interesting one for me because I have chronic fatigue and I often feel really tired. And it's like, yeah, I always feel like I have a need for vitality. It's not that. Self-esteem. It's not inner power. It's not empowerment. So it's like effectiveness and liberation. So there's a whole set under harmony that's interesting. Peace, tranquility, relaxation, beauty, order, ease, predictability, familiarity, stability, balance, completion is interesting. Completion is interesting because, again, it's this sense of like, this is what I already am. It's what I already am that I'm trying to be. Interesting. Okay. Autonomy. No. Physical well-being. No. Okay. So I'll stop it there. So what I learned from today is that this image is a really powerful one for me, that this is what I'm looking for, but that the way that I understand it is something about liberation. What did I say? Liberation, completion, and a sense of, authenticity doesn't have the right connotation, but there is something about that, about like functioning as I'm supposed to. I still feel really confused about how to get that, but there's something about this image that I think I can work with. So thanks for watching. Bye.